everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all well. Sorry, I have just washed my hair this morning, so it's still a little bit damp, but I always just let it air dry. And I'm hoping you can hear me okay because I'm in the kitchen. I've got saucepan boiling, I've got the washing machine on, but Novalee is asleep in the living room. I've put the jumping sheep on the telly, which plays music which tries and hopefully will help her stay asleep for a bit longer. Anyway, in today's video I am going to be starting weaning with Novalee. She is now just over 5 months and she's kind of been showing a lot of signs of kind of ready for weaning. I'm just going to do like a few first tastes to start with. I honestly cannot believe that she's already at the stage of wanting to be weaned. The kind of signs that we've had from her have just been that she's been really interested in me eating and like looking, and it's like really wanting to know what's going on. Her hand-eye coordination is getting really good. She's able to pick things up and put them in her mouth, which is obviously partially kind of a bit to do with teething as well, but she is doing like, the hand-eye coordination and putting things to her mouth is also a sign. She's not sitting up unaided yet, but she's sitting up like fine, just with a little bit of support. Yeah, she's got really good head and neck strength, so she can hold herself up. And the kind of thing that really made us think, okay, yeah, she's probably ready for this now, is I was giving her some teething granules the other day, and I used a spoon, and normally I'd have to kind of get a spoon and like tip it in her mouth for her to take it, but she saw the spoon and she literally lunged for it, opened her mouth and took it off the spoon and was like really enjoying it. So me and Tom sort of thought, okay, yeah, she's kind of getting ready. She's also been having not great sleep, which I know can also be kind of like teething. Like now she's 5 months, but I don't know if she really had the 4 month sleep regression, so I don't know if she's just had it a little bit later. And she is now nearly rolling over, so it could all be a mixture of things, but I was thinking that maybe if she starts foods and things, it might fill her up a bit, might help her sleep, probably not, who knows, it's worth a try. So that is what I'm doing today. Sorry, my potatoes are going to boil over, don't want that. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm prepping for weaning, which hopefully I'm going to start to do some today. But I've been following the Ella's Kitchen book, and that recommends to start with vegetables, just because it's supposed to help kind of get used to the savoury flavours before having the sweet, because I think once they have the sweet, it's then really hard to get them to actually enjoy savoury and eat savoury foods. But that's just the book that I've got, and I'm going off that. That nap didn't last long, she's awake already. Yeah, like I was saying, I really wouldn't stress about which way you kind of wean or start weaning. Every baby is different, every family is different, just do whatever works for you. But I've just been going off of this book because it's the one I've got basically, and the guidelines for this is to start with vegetables, and for me it really helps me to have something to follow. Like, I don't know if you can hear her. It really helps me to have something to follow as a plan, so I'm not kind of like I am winging it, but I've also got like some guidelines to know where to start, and this is basically just telling me what to do and when to do it, so that is really helpful for me. So basically it's just, it kind of gives you here what vegetables to start with, or kind of a guide, I guess, of what vegetables to start with, and it recommends doing 1 vegetable a day for the first 2 weeks, and these will only be like a couple of spoonfuls, like a couple of mouthfuls. So that's why I'm starting her doing this in these first couple of weeks, because she's just over 5 months now, and I'm hoping in the next couple of weeks she'll get those first tastes, and then she'll be ready to kind of wean. We'll sort of start doing like full on, like more kind of like mixed vegetables, and we'll introduce fruit and like the baby rice and things. I know a lot of people start with baby rice, and that was something that I was definitely considering, but I'm just going to follow this and go with that. I think what I'm going to do is we're going to feed her in the evening, basically, because it's savoury. I feel like that's kind of the kind of foods that we will be eating in the evening. It also means that Tom is there, because if I do it at lunchtime, he's at work, so he's going to miss all of her weaning. And then when she's sort of getting to the point where she does need kind of 2 meals a day, it then means we can introduce like breakfast and dinner, or like tea, which I think is quite a nice balance, and hopefully that kind of food towards the end of the day will kind of fill her up a little bit more. We're here more in the evenings, like lunchtimes I am kind of out and about a bit more, so it's sometimes a little bit harder to wean and kind of feed and that sort of thing, and I want to make sure that this first kind of like start of weaning is relaxed as possible, and I'll feel more comfortable doing it in my home environment. So that's the plan for now. Don't know if I'm going to completely stick to it or not, but this is just the Ella's Kitchen, the first foods book, because that's what I'm going to do. So at the minute I'm just boiling some potatoes, and I'm going to do a few things of what I've got on here. I've only got frozen veg, but I think that's going to be fine just to start with, and then I will, when I go shopping, get some fresh veg as well. But I think things like sort of potatoes and peas I've already got in the house, so I'm just going to use those. I have got some fresh broccoli as well, so I might just do those 3 for today, and then I will get the rest on my order. You also can go onto the Ella's Kitchen website and you can get like a free weaning pack. I've ordered mine, it hasn't arrived yet, but I don't know what is entailed in that. I think it's kind of like a chart thing, so you can log what foods they've tried, when, how many times they've tried it, all that sort of thing. There's also like this like little planner thing in here, like a step-by-step guide, which is what I was saying, like that's something that I like, because it's telling me what to do, so I'm not like, oh, how do I do this? What I am going to say is I'm going to mix like the veg with her milk. She's formula fed, so I'm just going to mix it with formula. It says you can do water, but I think to get her to eat it, it's going to be better and nicer to have it with milk, so I'd just rather do it that way. Again, do whatever works for you and your baby. I think my potatoes are nearly boiled. I've just chopped up one potato. They're not too far off, but obviously the softer they are, the easier it will be to mash and blend. To start with, I'm going to do purees for the first 2 weeks of just those first tastes and getting used to the foods and things. If you want to do baby led, again, go for it. But once she's done that, I will then introduce baby led. So I'm going to do a mixture of both. I'm going to do purees and baby led weaning. I want her to be able to eat purees and use a spoon, but I also want her to be able to feed herself. I want her to explore the food and all that sort of thing. And I might do like, for lunchtimes, I might do like some pureed broccoli and things, and then do like a soft bit of broccoli for her to sort of chew on, so she can associate that what she's eating looks like this, if that makes sense as well. But past 6 months here, after those 2 weeks, which she will be a little bit earlier than 6 months, but I'm just going to see how it goes. If I try this and she's not a massive fan of it, then I won't do it anymore. I've just got to see how it goes. So past that, it is then talking about making it a little bit thicker texture. They start eating a little bit more, and then you can introduce like different fruits and vegetables and things like that, and you can kind of like mix things together. So I'm really excited to try things like that. I have no expert, I have actually really no idea what I'm doing, I'm just winging it, so we will see how it goes. I'm just chopping up some broccoli. The really good thing as well about this book is it then sections off all of the different vegetables. So it basically tells you, like for the potatoes, it's told me how much to do and then how to make it and how much liquid to add. So again, that really helps me, because I would literally have no idea of where to start with this weaning. I would have no idea quantities or anything like that. I love the fact that it is telling me what to do and how to do it and how much. It's telling me how long it takes, how much it's going to produce. So yeah, that is really, really handy and helpful for me. I know there's loads of books out there, so if that is something that you're interested in, just find one that works for you. I'm really glad we're following this one. I like Ella's Kitchen. I like how easy it is to follow. And I mean, it might not work for us, but I'm just going to see. I don't know until we try. You can hear her in the background. She's getting very annoyed, but she's really tired. I'm just mashing up the potato in a bowl with a fork, and I've just made some formula, and some formula milk, and I'm just going to pour that in. Just doing a little bit at a time. I'm at a place where it's looking good. It says you have to be able to, it will fall off the spoon sideways without shaking it. So I guess it means like that. This has actually made loads. This whole bowl is full. It did say on here use 1 potato, such as a Maris Piper, but I just had baking potato. I picked the smallest one I possibly was, but I think that's why, because it's a slightly bigger potato, and I have used definitely 2 ounces of milk. I've got a baby that hasn't slept, haven't we? Have we got a baby that hasn't slept? Hardly all morning. I mean, there's like little bits that are, and it's still a tiny bit lumpy, but it is just so mushy, like, I'm sure it'll be fine. I've got a couple of like weaning pots that I'm going to put it in, but I'm just going to let it cool first. I'll show you. Because she's under 6 months, I've just sterilised all the equipment needs to be sterilised, but obviously like my bowl hasn't been sterilised and my fork that I've used to mash it, but kind of like her spoons and bowls and these little tubs I've just sterilised. The next thing is I need to oh, I'm going to show you her because she just looks too cute not to. Hello little poppet. Hello. Did you not want to have a sleep? No? Uh-huh. Oh, is that right? You cheeky little girl. You're a cheeky little girl. So I haven't got greasy hair, everybody. I've just got coconut oil in my hair because I have bad cradle cap. Don't you? So we're just trying to get that sorted. Oh. Her new favourite thing to do is blow raspberries. Are you going to do one? Ah. No, you're going to show Mummy up? We're not going to do a raspberry? Probably as soon as I walk away, we will. Yes. Yes, what I was going to say is the other thing that I've got to figure out is a drinks bottle. Now, from previously when I worked in a nursery, I knew that under a year you would have to give them cool boiled water. But it actually turns out that now if they're above... Lil, do you want to go out? If they're below 6 months, they need cool boiled water. But if they're over 6 months and they don't need cool boiled water, they can just have tap water. So obviously, to start with, she'll be having cool boiled water, but in less than a month's time, I won't need to be doing that. But what she does need, I need a cup for her. So if anybody has any recommendations for a cup for water, that would be very greatly appreciated, wouldn't it? Because I'm kind of in 2 minds, again, doing like research and things, and from working in the nursery previously, I know there's all different types of cups and things, but I really want to get her used to kind of like using like an actual cup and taking like gulps rather than having to like suck, which obviously she has to do with the bottles. So I know there's some like trainer cups and things that do the like transition, but they still you still do need to suck them, especially like ones with the straw and thing. You'll have to like suck on it rather than sip it, whereas there is a munchkin cup that has like the rim around and you kind of tip it up and drink it a bit like a normal cup, like a glass. But I don't really know how good they are and how they work and if she'll get that straight away. So I don't know if I'm better off just using a transition one where she'll kind of like, it's not quite a bottle, but she still will have to suck it, and then move her on to like one of those cups when she's slightly older, or if she can do that from the get-go. I don't know. If anybody has any recommendations of what to start with, then that would be great. Yeah, what I have got at the minute, which is what I will just start with for today, is this teat, which go on the man bottles, which is, I'm assuming, is for like water, because it's like a thicker one, and it has then, I think it's got a couple of holes in there, so she's still going to have to suck on it, but that might work to start with maybe as like a transition. And then I've also got the handles that go with it, so that's what I use because I'm going to give her probably potato, I think, today. I'll let you know what I decide, but if anybody has any recommendations, then do please let me know. I just wanted to add as well that I know I'm talking about making these purees and things, but I am also going to do a mixture of like pouches and jars and things as well, just for ease. If I can make things and I've got the time, then I will, but realistically, I know that's not going to be the case. You know, there's no pressure to have to do it all yourself. I just thought, because a lot of pouches that you buy are kind of like mixture of things, so for her first taste, just to have like one individual vegetable at a time, it's just easier for me to make them, and because I've got the time at the minute, but I'm not going to put the pressure on myself to make it all the time. And for like ease and stuff, I will just take pouches and things out because it is just so much easier. So that is also something that I've got to do. I've got to buy some things like that and some more like finger food type things as well. I know Ella's Kitchen is great for things like that, even though it can be a little bit more expensive. My blender, I'm using my Blend Active. It's what I already have. So I'm just going to add, again, the milk into this, the broccoli. So you don't need that much. But just going to give that a whiz. Here's the broccoli. Turned out really well in the Blend Active. I think it might be a little bit too runny, maybe, but it's not too bad. And that's probably quite a good amount because I've just got way too much potato. There's no way I'm going to need that much potato. But yeah, those two, I've got to let them cool before I put them in the fridge. So I'm just going to leave them like that and let them cool. And I'm just now boiling some peas. And then I will do the same with those. I have actually added even more milk to this because I was worried it was too thick. So it now is maybe too sloppy. I don't know, but I'd rather it be too runny than too thick for her first little go. I think that is probably about right, to be honest, because here it says kind of being like runny honey or double cream texture, so I'm hoping that that isn't too bad. I like a consistency of baby rice, so I reckon we're good. So I have made all the purees. We've got potato, broccoli and peas. I've let them cool and I've popped them in these little tubs. So I've got potato and broccoli in the fridge. So I'm going to do potato with her tonight and then the broccoli tomorrow. So I've just left those in the fridge because they're okay for 2 days in the fridge in an airtight container. In here in the freezer I've put the rest. So I think most of these are all potato. These ones are peas and then this one is broccoli. I didn't have as much broccoli, but I think that was because I didn't do as much. I just chopped up some. I didn't do quite as much as it said. There's loads of potato, but if I don't use it all by itself, I can mix that with a different one at a different time. But once these are frozen, what I'm going to do is take them out and then put them in a freezer bag. And then I will label them and write the date on, and then I'll put them in the freezer like that in cubes, so I can just get a block out at a time. But then I've got these free, if that makes sense, because when I want to make more purees I need to have some of these to use. So that's the plan, and hopefully we'll try some potato a bit later on. But we're now going to go for a walk. Yeah, because you're tired again. Yeah. Actually, starting off with the broccoli. We had a bit of a mishap with the potato in the microwave, so we're gonna do broccoli. I've just heated it up so it's really quite warm, so I'm just gonna let it cool a little bit. Mmm! Yay, clever girl!
Oh, she's attacking it now.
Girl. Amazing! Wow! Yay!
Good effort.
I would say that was quite a success. She actually took it and like ate it rather than just spat it out the whole time. And I thought like she'd finished and she actually wanted more. So she's done really well. I think I am going to soon, I'm thinking about finger food as well, so I might introduce that a bit earlier than the 2 weeks. I don't know, I'm just going to see how it goes, but I would say that was a definite success. I've just given her some green beans just to try. I did warm them, but I don't think they're warm anymore.
She doesn't want that one.
Ooh, what's that like? Nice. So I thought I would just do an update because I haven't done one on here in a while. We actually paused our weaning because I don't know if you can hear my voice. I haven't been very well, but neither has Nova. She's been really, really poorly. So we've actually paused weaning just until she's feeling better. She's definitely a lot brighter now. Aren't you, Bella? Yeah. Yeah, she's definitely a lot brighter and she is on the mend. But yeah, it just meant we've just paused it. I'll probably wait until maybe next week. But she did have a whole week of weaning and she was doing so well, weren't you? I made a couple more bits following the Ella's Kitchen book. We've done a few more recipes and things and she's been doing really, really well. I did introduce a little bit of finger food as well. Not as much of a fan of that. She'd much rather use a spoon. We will resume weaning very soon, but for now, we've just put a pause on it. Had our Ella's Kitchen weaning pack arrive, so I thought I would just quickly show you that. The main thing that I really got it for was this weaning chart. So you can basically record how many times they've tried something, and then you can kind of put down, like, you know, document all the different things. So that's really good. And then there's a few things on the back here of like different recommendations and things. It comes with a little leaflet as well, which gives you kind of a little bit of a guide of how much and what to start with and how to do different things and what you'll need and things like that. So that's really handy if you haven't got the full book that I showed you earlier on in the video. And then it just comes with a few little voucher things as well, which I'm going to take with us when we go out, and I'm going to grab some of these. It's either free things or money off, so again, really handy. So I would definitely say it's worth getting, even if you're not wanting to follow Ella's Kitchen exactly. It's just handy to get these little bits and to keep a record of what she's been trying and things. So very glad we ordered that, and it's all free. I'm going to leave it there. That is it for this video of your first week weaning, isn't it? Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and that it is helpful, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.